Hello and welcome to another not-so 60-second figure reviews, where today we're taking a look at G.I. Joe Classified Series Falcon. Now, I did manage to get my hands on a slightly early copy of Falcon, just like the other three figures in this wave. So do keep in mind that your paint apps and your tolerances and your blah 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 might be a bit better than mine when you get yours. All right, let's start off by getting a closer look, and I really want to focus in on the head on my copy of the figure. Just give me 1 second while I adjust the light so you can see it a bit better. As you can see here, my copy of the head sculpt, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. I've seen much worse copies of this face sculpt for sure. And I'm going to be honest with you, I actually don't hate this face as much as I thought I would. I mentioned in my my G.I. Joe Classified Series Reveals video that I was not super happy with this face sculpt, and I'm not super happy with it, but it's definitely nowhere near as bad as some of the pictures made it seem, because, like, yeesh, that is a rough picture, man. But the figure itself is not that bad, so I figure let's just, oh, sorry, I didn't get you a zoom in on all the rest of the details here. So there's the torso, looking pretty good, and the pants here, looking pretty good. Take off the backpack so you can get a look at the back. Get the gun out of the way so you can get a better look at the chest. There you go, you can see that. All right, now let's get into articulation. Starting off with the head can go up that far, down that far, swivel side to side all the way around if you really wanted it to. You can get some tilting. The range would be improved if you remove this ascot here, but it's actually not too bad even with the ascot on, so I'm just going to leave it on. The arms can go all the way around. They have a butterfly joint, but it's like so minimal that I don't even know if it's worth mentioning it. Go out that far, in that far, so like that, or like that. The arm can go up past 90, which is pretty nice. It's on the old style, thank God, bicep swivel, so this one won't fall off, unlike Sergeant Stalker or any of the other molds that have the new style cut at the arm. The elbows have a double bend, which get you that far. The left wrist is on the up-down swivel, so up, down. And here on the left arm, or sorry, the right arm, it's actually the same, which is an up and down on this side as well, and also the twist that you should be used to by now. There's an ab crunch, which will get you that far forward. Jeez, that's better than a lot of the other figures in the line. That's crazy. Back that far, good lord. And it's on a ball peg, I want to say, right? Yeah, underneath the waist there. So that will get you a little extra range. The legs, just like every other classified figure, are on a drop down, as you can see, which will get you up a little bit over 90 if you twist the leg a bit and then recalibrate the leg, go a little past 90. A little trick thanks to Dia Amazing on YouTube. It will go back about that far, not great. Butt's in the way. Then you've got a double bend at the knee. Good God. That is a tight joint. Jeez, I thought I broke something there. Then there's a boot swivel here. Hopefully that'll make it easier for the 60-second review when I do that. A up and down pivot on the toe. And of course the famous Hasbro rocker, which can get you pretty much unlimited range out of that. So that's good. I'm actually going to go ahead and loosen up this one too because it's so tight. Jeez. There we go. Oh my God. Ugh. That is a tight joint. You probably see me struggling there. It was a very tight joint. Here we have all the accessories that come with Lt Falcon here. We have his backpack, which the antenna is meant to be bent. Hey, the antenna is meant to be bent like that, so when you get it out of the box, it's not broken. That's how it's supposed to look. That can just peg on to the back here, like this. And that's how that's gonna look. Get that guy standing up again. He has his combat knife. Oh, geez. Not one of these again. Ah! So yeah, the backpack isn't exactly the tightest connection because of the overlay over his torso. I'm just gonna put that back, and I'll lean him up against the back for now. Then he has his combat knife, as you can see here. Pretty cool looking combat knife. Silver paint with a gray molded in handle. Now that actually doesn't have a, good lord, doesn't actually have a sheath on his body. It just pegs onto the back, or just slides straight into the back here like that. And then that comes over here, you know, I'm gonna set it on the body. And then he comes with this shotgun here that doesn't pump like the Flint, and it's painted nice, I guess, if that matters. And it collapses, so he can have that like side by your side, like Call of Duty style, or collapses down like that, so you can have that interesting like super aim. And mine isn't straight, and then we're gonna be able to unsee that. That's awesome. Good God, this backpack just does not want to stay on the figure. There, that should make it stay. Bring that down. Get them posed up. We're gonna take a look at some size comparisons. Oh my God. I'm going to leave that in just to show you that it untabbed again from his back while I was posing it off camera to get ready for the next shot. All right, to compare with, we have our previous two reviews. The G.I. Joe Classified Series cover girl. She's in a little bit of a pose, but it's still pretty much accurate to how tall she is, so that'll give you an idea of that. And the G.I. Joe Classified Series retro carded Walmart exclusive Commando Snake Eyes. That gives you an idea of how he will stand next to him. So there you go. The Snake Eyes and him are kind of the same size. And the cover girl is shorter, obviously. So we're going to take her out of the frame because you've already seen that comparison in the cover girl video where I leave it on screen for longer. Here we have the larger G.I. Joe Classified Series original release Gung Ho. Not the Walmart retro card version. This is the original release version. So that gives you an idea of how close those two are in height. Take them out of the way. Oh my God, I almost forgot to do my channel mascot. What the heck is wrong with me today? All over the place. Here we have the channel mascot, the SH Figuarts Bodycon, who again is the same size as every other SH Figuarts. If anything, he's more accurate to the size of an SH Figuarts because he doesn't have any hair or anything. As you can see, he's very, very short compared to him. So yeah. Next up is the Marvel Legends MCU version, Marvel Disney Plus version of the Moon Knight character. And the Star Wars Black Series 501st Legion Clone Trooper. To give you an idea of scaling with other series if you had any custom ideas in mind. As for my final thoughts on this figure, I have some complaints and I have some positives, so let's start with the complaints so that we can end on a high note. First complaint, my copy does not like to stand for some reason. I'm sure it's just my fault for not being able to make him stand up properly. Very annoying though. My second complaint, which is very obvious, as you can see, I don't actually have the backpack tabbed in to his back because it keeps falling out, so it's like, why do I even bother with this thing? So yeah. My third complaint is the lack of accessories. There's just 3 accessories, which for a lot of other lines, Transformers, is pretty good. For this line, I expect a bit more out of it because that's just been what I've been conditioned to think. You know, I'm used to figures coming with a whole lot more for the price range. So there's that. And my final complaint, I mean, it's not that bad on my copy, but I know a lot of people have an issue with this face sculpt. And it looks bad. It looks bad on this camera, I'm not going to lie. In person, it doesn't look as bad as this. But if you have a problem with how it looks on this camera right now, don't, find a replacement head. But in person, it doesn't bother me that much, especially when the figure is standing up straight. Now, on to the positives. The paintwork and the print work and the sculpt work, other than the head. But even the head is probably fine. I actually think that has to do with the printing. The sculpt on this figure is very good, which is to be expected of the G.I. Joe Classified line. I think that they've never really had a bad sculpt as a figure as a whole. I don't think they've ever had a bad sculpt before. And this one is no different. The sculpt is still pretty good. And in terms of likeness to the original model, I don't think you can get much better than this. So those are my compliments. Overall, I would have to give this figure probably a 6.5 out of 10, which is the lowest score that I would give to any G.I. Joe Classified figure. And if I had to boil down my thoughts, I would probably say that if this is the worst figure that the line ever produces, then it's a phenomenal line. You know what I mean? Like, there's some lines where you get a figure and it's just a stinker. Again, Transformers. That Trax was just a disaster, man. But this figure is not a disaster. It actually can stand up, unlike the Trax. And the sculpting is good, unlike the Trax. And the engineering is very good on this figure, by the way. That's another compliment, unlike the Trax. So I think I want to be delicate with how I talk about this figure, because I do think that it is the worst ever G.I. Joe Classified figure. But it's not that bad. Like, there are worse action figures out there by a country mile. Here's some right now. There. Bang, 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 bang. So, yeah. I mean, would I recommend this figure? Pretty much only if you're collecting the G.I. Joe Classified line. It's an integral character. If you're collecting the line, you have to get it. To anybody else, I would say you can skip this one. If there's custom potential here, I don't know, because the figure is like super dark color-wise. So I don't even know if there's any customization that you could do from that. But if there is, buy it. Other than that, I wouldn't recommend. And here is a little teaser for the next review in the series. This is something I'm going to start doing now, is putting in a little teaser in each review for the next figure I'm going to do when I know what the next review is. So I do know what the next review is. So I'm going to give you a little teaser. That's it. That's all you're getting. All right. I'll see you guys next week. And if you want, you can check out the 60-second version of this review, which should be out in one day. All right. This has been 60-second figure reviews, and I will see you guys later.